Welcome to the Buddh International Circuit. We are here because of that. Hero is showing us the Extreme 200R for the first time here today. We're getting to ride it. Pricing is still not announced yet, but let's look at what this motorcycle brings to the world. Of course, you've seen the motorcycle before. It was one of Hero's stars at the Auto Expo, and at the Auto Expo we also got to see the first glimpse of the X-Pulse, which will be a platform cousin of this motorcycle. But let's leave the X-Pulse 200 out of this conversation and let's focus exclusively on the 200R, because I'm telling you there's a lot to talk about, because this is a really nice motorcycle, and it begins with that engine. The engine began as basis the Achiever's 150cc engine, but as development progressed, it's effectively an all-new engine. It's still a very simple engine in design. It's got an air-cooled, carbureted, single-cylinder format, not complicated at all, and Hero's not extracting too much power from it. Compression ratio is also a reasonable 10:1. In that sense, they haven't really pushed any boundaries yet, but what Hero says very clearly is the engine's job is not to push boundaries, it's to give you a lot of torque which you can use in the real world, so that the 200 is a nice motorcycle to ride. At the racetrack that works, we are maxed out almost the whole of the handling circuit at the BIC, but the motorcycle never feels out of breath or strained. There are no vibrations to complain about, and in that sense they've nailed it. The problem? Everybody in the 160cc segment today has that format down pat. Motorcycles that have extreme refinement, very nice performance are very nice to ride. We haven't ridden on the street? This will be fun to ride. The Extreme's frame is all new. And what Hero has done is it's taken the motorcycle and created what they call the most agile motorcycle they've ever made. I'm going to say that that's not important, because this is one of the most stable motorcycles they've ever made, because it's a really nice bike to ride. So we were riding only the handling circuit at the BIC, and I can tell you we went as fast as we liked. In fact, most of the circuit was taken fully maxed out, and the motorcycle doesn't flinch at all. Between the new front forks, Hero's first monoshock, all of it just works so beautifully around here that this is actually very nice to ride. The only thing I would wish for is that I had a little bit more ground clearance, because I actually finished off the peg feelers on this particular motorcycle. Thoroughly enjoyed doing it, and I can't wait to see it in the real world, because the other glimpse that we got only as we left pit lane is it feels like a really plush, well-sprung motorcycle, and I think out in the real world that ride quality is going to be one of the standout features of the 200R. Given how Hero is approaching the design of this product, it's not an outrageously well-spec'd motorcycle either. So if you look at the meters, there's a basic analog digital cluster, there's not a lot of complication here. It is carburetor, so there's a small choke which is handlebar mounted. It's a basic, simple, clean motorcycle that ticks all the basic boxes. That should also translate to a very good price. So if you look at how Hero is approaching the product, you understand what Hero is doing, because this is a fairly well-spec'd but simple motorcycle. It gets single-channel ABS as standard, you've got a little screen, there's not a lot of complication going on, and in terms of riding, it's a simple, direct, accessible motorcycle that attacks everything. From 160cc to almost 200cc, everything is under fire when this motorcycle comes to market. So what should it be priced like? Hero's still to announce the price, but I'm going to say around 90,000 rupees is where the price is going to fall. That allows Hero to challenge everything in the segment with a motorcycle that should do quite well out in the real world. How does it compare to the 160s? Because there's some really good ones in there. There's the Suzuki Gixxer, there's the TVS RTR 160, there's the RTR 200. So many good motorcycles to compete against. So how does this one do? Watch Overdrive.